Hey there, Saints. Pastor Dave here with another weekly devotional for you. I'm going to start with a reading today from the Message translation, Isaiah chapter 6. And this is part of Isaiah's vision as he sees himself in the presence of God and the angels and realizes that he doesn't belong there. He doesn't have any right to be there. An angel comes to him and cleanses him of his sin, and then he hears a directive from God. And I want to read this to you and see where we go. So one of the angel seraphs flew to me. He held a live coal that he had taken with tongs from the altar. He touched my mouth with the coal and said, "Look, this coal has touched your lips. Gone your guilt, your sins wiped out." And then I heard the voice of the Master. "Whom shall I send? Who will go for us?" And I spoke up. "I'll go. Send me." So he said, "Go and tell this people, listen hard, but you aren't going to get it. Look hard, but you won't catch on. These people are blockheads, with fingers in their ears and blindfolds on their eyes, so they can't see a thing, they can't hear a word, and they don't have a clue about what's going on, and no, they won't turn and be made whole." This is a passage about hard-heartedness. In other translations, that term would actually be used. That the people's hearts have become hardened. They're not willing to listen to God. They're not willing to pay attention to God. And when we use the term heart today, we're usually talking about our emotional state. You know, we talk about someone's heart, we're talking about how they feel. When the Israelites used that term, the heart really referred more broadly to who you are as a person. It encompassed your whole personality. From the heart come your intentions and your desires and your logical reasoning, your ability to think through things, your faith and belief, and your emotions as well. The heart is really a more kind of total shorthand for who you are. And hard-heartedness is really a serious problem because it kind of refers to a person who has become closed, who has become frozen where they are. They're not willing to learn anything new. They're not willing to interact with new information or new situations. They're not able to adapt or change, and they're not able to respond to God calling them to come to a new place or to turn away from their sin. They're just closed, frozen. Hard-heartedness, stubbornness, unwillingness is a problem for us too. It's a problem when we aren't able to hear God. I think about shoveling snow, which I've had to do a couple of times recently in past weeks. And I think about one time when I was shoveling, it was kind of a lighter snow. It was earlier on that I got to my driveway that needed to be cleared out, and the snow was still kind of, lightly fluffy on the driveway. I could shovel it fairly easily. But this most recent time, it had been there a couple days and had frozen over. It had thawed and refrozen. It was very icy. It was hard packed. It was difficult to get into. My driveway had hardened, and it took a lot more work to clear that driveway than when I got to it quickly the first time. And thinking about that kind of makes me think about our own hearts and our own stubbornness, and how sometimes the longer we go unwilling to listen, unwilling to hear, unwilling to see, unwilling to be open, the harder it gets for us to break loose of that. Saints, what do you need to do to keep your heart open, and to keep your mind open, and to keep your intellectual capacity open to what God might say to you? How can you keep from allowing yourself to get frozen over. Make it easier for yourself, for God to get through. That's your devotional this week. I hope you'll think about it, and I hope it's helpful. I am praying for you, saints. Keep on praying for me, and I hope you stay warm and healthy this week. I'll see you again soon. Take care.